welcome back to Masters at Wagtail. So, I had an interesting conversation with Sorbo. I have to say, he's a very, very nice guy to talk to. He's very easygoing, a very, very humble person, great guy. We sat there, we had a good old time talking about, you know, business and window cleaning. He has some interesting things and interesting inventions that I never knew he had. Now, some time ago, some of you may have not known. I may have mentioned it, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but I ran down the list of tools that I had, and some of them got lost, some of them just broke. I just had them as spare parts, but I had his handle, right? Now, that's the one with the yellow lever, the black handle, the purple neck, and the yellow. It's like red. It's like yellow, purple, and black. If somebody knows what I'm talking about. That handle I used before I discovered Wagtail and that channel. I don't recall what channel I had. It may have been a Quicksilver. I don't know. It was so long ago. I only used it for a brief moment because back then a lot of people were stealing tools in the shop because he made us buy our own after a while, and I wanted something because I was doing high rise and I wanted large channels. And at that time, actually, Wagtail wasn't even invented then. Wagtail actually didn't come into effect until like 97, 96, 97, somewhere around there. That's when I decided to go a different way. But that was the largest channel. I think I had a 24 or a 30 inch. I'm not sure. But someone ended up stealing it, but I had the handle. And I never knew what that bar was on the neck of the handle itself. Sorbo was actually thinking ahead for those genie guys who had to tie off their tools so it doesn't be like a projectile. If you should happen to fall, the tool should fall from 30, 40, 50 feet. It could spear somebody in the head. So you have to tie it off by a clip of some kind with like a bungee rope, a bungee cord. It's just like the little keychain bungee thing that you have. Similar, but the problem is if you have to use it on a little short pole out of the chair, it won't fit on the pole properly, so you won't be able to tie off. So that bar there is there for you to hook your bungee cord to and not have to worry. And all this time I wanted to know what could I use that for. I think what happened is I didn't know at the time that was for that. So that was a message that he wanted to let y'all know, as well as this scraper, right? So the reason why I even came to talk with him is because he liked my Sorbo video and he thanked me. So he wanted to let y'all know that this razor, if you don't know, if you don't wipe the blade, and I didn't after I stopped using it, it is best to wipe this blade after every use at the end of the day. I'll tell you why. He wants to let y'all know, if you don't know already, that the reason why these blades are so good is because they're a different type of steel. It's carbon steel, which is a lot more harder. You get a lot more longevity out of it, and the blades tend to be a little bit better. But the problem, the pros and the cons of it, is that the con is it will rust. and I do mean rust, rather quickly. It's not like your stainless steel blades, but the performance of a carbon blade as such, what he has in here, is probably one of the better ones that you can actually use, which what makes this scraper unique all in itself. This scraper is actually for more of the professional, the person that takes their job seriously, because this scraper is not like anything I have ever used. So that separates itself from being ahead of the rest as far as a great scraper. Now, if you see, take a look here. As you can see, it's still wet, right? It's still wet. See all that moisture on there? I never wiped this blade, and I haven't used this in about I'd say about a week. So if you don't, all this is going to get nasty in here. So let's take this apart and see how bad it got. All right, you see what's happening here? This is really, really getting nasty. There's chemicals that you can use that'll clean this up like brand new again. But why would you want to have to go through all that? You see, I haven't had this long, and it's getting nasty rather quickly. So you have to, this blade, by the way, it had water in there like you wouldn't believe, and it stayed in there. So shaking it is not enough. With this particular blade, you would actually have to open it up, wipe the actual blade, wipe the blade holder, and then put it back in, and you're ready to go for the next day. I would even just let it sit out and just air dry until you're ready to assemble it. It takes a little maintenance and care in order to keep this like the day you bought it. All right. So next, I want to talk about. Hold on one second. Let me wipe this and put this back. All right. So the other thing that he said was that originally there was complaints with certain users that it was hard to change the blade. So in his later designs, he actually made it so it was easier to slide the channel out. Now, my overanalyzed thoughts was thinking that when you're scraping decals, you go on an angle. All right, so I was thinking that I was going to have trouble with the blade catching and having to keep slide out. But this is why you get Sorbo Glide, or you just keep the window extremely wet. One of the two. Now that Sorbo Glide helps keep the window wet longer, so it actually works better. The scraper I'm talking about works better with the Sorbo Glide because it gives it some bite to it when it starts to dig in. You know what I mean? You get better scraping motion because you have more of a wetter surface for the scraper to glide over, which in turn makes sense. It gives you a better scraping performance. So that blade was designed to easily come out. Now, when you have a wet surface, that's not an issue. It takes a little finesse, that's all, to get used to. With anything, if you haven't used their product before, there's a certain way to use certain products. Some you got to handle with tender loving care, and others you can beat the heck out of it and it won't, it'll still keep doing its thing. But when you have a tool that actually enhances your performance and cuts down the amount of time spent hacking at something when it comes to decals and stickers, then this is what you want to get. Now I'm not trying to sell nobody on nothing because I don't get paid to review. All I know is my thoughts and how this is going to help me in my job. All right, so next up, let's move on to what I have coming up. I have a contest coming up. I don't quite know what the reward is going to be. I'm still working on that. Uh, one of them is going to be a wrench bar of mine that you can add to any squeegee, providing you have a way to source out water. Now, why would you want to have a wrench bar and make it to the squeegee? Some people don't see the value in that, but you don't have to use it for just a squeegee. You can actually put that wrench bar on your mop if you want to try to eliminate a bucket and you don't want to keep. See, this would be good for inside work. I'll tell you why. If you hook a wrench bar like that up to your, let's say your T-bar, even though it may hold a lot of water and you can get a lot of windows done, let's say you got a lot of high work and you're inside, you don't want to keep collapsing the pole down, bringing the mop and dipping the mop. You can literally use that wrench bar because you won't need a whole lot of water, especially up on the inside. So you can use that wrench bar for your mop. It's just about you're saving a step. Actually, you're probably saving a couple of steps, because when you're dipping it in the bucket, what do you have to do? You have to wring out both sides of the mop. You can literally waste 10 seconds right there. And if you got a whole slew of windows, you're talking about saving 5-10 minutes just from not wringing out your mop alone. So I don't want to get into all the other stuff, but y'all can get the gist of it. So I actually have some product reviews coming up. Sorbo is one of them. He's sending me a care package, and I don't know all of what's in there. I briefly talked to him about what it is I like to try, but ultimately it doesn't matter, because when I did use the squeegee, I did like it. I didn't know that it had 4 settings on there. I don't quite remember that, but he has this thing, man. I'm going to show y'all. Some of y'all might know, some of y'all might not know, but I've never seen a contraption like this. Let's check it out. All right, so that thing is interesting nonetheless. Just like that other thing Louis had. It was a mop and a squeegee, and it looked like a seesaw. That thing is awesome. I've never seen anything like that, but I seen the way Louis made it work. It's like a Sorbo's version of the vice versa, but I actually like that better than any vice versa M.A.W or Unger. Unger has the vice versa, M.A.W has the backflip. That supersedes any of them. I don't have to use it to know. It's just so convenient the way it is. It won't get in the way. It's just cool looking, man. But stay tuned later on this week to see me switch it up a bit. It'll be a change, man. I imagine we'll see how many people actually watch my videos now, since they're not seeing Wagtail all the time. I realize not everybody likes Wagtail. Not everybody wants to use Wagtail. Maybe they just come and watch me because they want to support me. Maybe they come to watch me twirl the squeegee around. Maybe they come because they want to listen to the music. Whatever your situation is, maybe you're a Sorbo fan. Or maybe you just like to see if I could use a fixed handle. You know what I mean? I don't think Marcus even knows how to use a fixed handle. Well, let's see if I still got it. So stay tuned. I'll see y'all in the next one. That thing is awesome. I've never seen anything like that, but I seen the way Louis made it work. It's like a Sorbo's version of the vice versa, but I actually like that better than any vice versa M.A.W or Unger. Unger has the vice versa, M.A.W has the backflip. that supersedes any of them. I don't have to use it to know. It's just so convenient the way it is. It won't get in the way. It's just cool looking, man. But stay tuned later on this week to see me switch it up a bit. It'll be a change, man. I imagine we'll see how many people actually watch my videos now, since they're not seeing Wagtail all the time. I realize not everybody likes Wagtail. Not everybody wants to use Wagtail. You know, maybe they just come and watch me because they want to support me. Maybe they come to watch me twirl the squeege around. Maybe they come because they want to listen to the music. Whatever your situation is, maybe you're a Sorbo fan. Or maybe you just like to see if I could use a fixed handle. You know what I mean? I don't think Marcus even knows how to use a fixed handle. Well, let's see if I still got it. So stay tuned. I'll see y'all in the next one.